Christmas trees. They're a thing, usually at Christmas. Hey, friends! Barkey J. Dog here, and it's that time of year once again. Time for a Barkey Dog Christmas. Well, this year I thought I'd start by taking a look at the Christmas tree. They're a sappy symbol of the season, aren't they? So Christmas trees show up in a lot of stuff. I've already got more for next year, too. Being a symbol of Christmas, they turn up in practically every Christmas movie and TV show. And sometimes the story is about the tree itself. And that's what we're looking at in this one. First up, how about Christopher the Christmas Tree from 1993? Well, in this one, a crappy conifer is too scruffy to be a Christmas tree, so when his fellow trees get carted away, he's left all alone. Eventually, he grows up into a big tree and still wants to be a Christmas tree. Apparently, that's the life's ambition of these trees. Even though he'd get chopped down and that means he'd die, he's cool with it because he would have been a Christmas tree. They all seem to feel the same way in these. And he crapped out a bunch of pine cones, so there'll always be a bunch of Christopher the Christmas trees running around. Like an infection or something. This is very badly made. The animation is subpar, and the character design for the tree is not great. It's really kind of ugly, and the animators obviously struggled with it. And it's just weird. I mean, look, he lifts up his skirt and invites all the wild animals in there. The tree makes friends with his puny owl, but the owl doesn't have much to do but be in this thing, really. So, yeah, this one is kind of terrible, to be honest. The whole thing is really rather charmless. I really hate the character design of that tree, too. Christopher the Christmas Tree was made by a Canadian animation company, Delaney and Friends. After watching this, I doubted they ever had any friends. The company consisted of Chris Delaney and his brother John, and I assume they hired other people too. Anyway, they only made 6 or 7 cartoons and a bunch of commercials and stuff, and then folded in 1998. Later, their assets, such as they were, got absorbed by a video game developer. The cartoon does have at least one name brand, Kathleen Barr. She voiced Dot Matrix in the reboot cartoon series, remember that? And the cartoon also has an alternate ending, depending on where it was shown. Spoiler alert! In North America, Christopher winds up at the White House, and in the international edition, he winds up in front of the UN. I don't usually spoiler stuff, but this one's pretty skippable, I gotta say. Anyway, you know he's gonna wind up as a Christmas tree. It's in the title. Then we have this one. Oh, Christmas Tree from 1999. Similar story. A scraggly tree is too puny to be a Christmas tree, gets left behind. She makes friends with a squirrel and a bear cub too excited to sleep over the winter. They decide to help their friend by making her into a Christmas tree for realsies. To that end, they get hold of a discarded nutcracker ornament and get their other woodland friends to help make ornaments for the tree. It's okay. I liked it better than Christopher the Christmas Tree, and the design of the tree is vastly better than that one. I really like the tree. Although the fully black eyes of the animals, that wasn't a good choice, really. But this one has a name brand cast, at least. Tim Conway plays the goofy squirrel, Ed Asner plays the nutcracker, and Marie Osmond plays the star and narrates. The tree herself was played by a real legend, Derry Derryberry. She was the voice of Jimmy Neutron and way too many other things to even mention. She's great as the tree. Jess Hartnell plays one of the few humans we see. He's also done tons of voice work over the years. He was in Transformers and the Animaniacs, among a bunch of other things. Tim Conway sings a song in this, and, well, they wisely got someone else to stand in. So does Ed Asner's character. And Marie Osmond, of course. So this one's pretty good, and the tree design is light years ahead of the Christopher the Christmas Tree's design. And then here's another one. The Real Story of Oh Christmas Tree from 1991. Yet again, we have a Christmas tree with a big old face on it. And yet this little girl is surprised the tree can talk to her. In this one, the tree can move around as opposed to just being rooted in one place. Well, here, back in olden times, Old Man Winter has decreed that all trees should lose their leaves in the winter, right? But this pine tree here says no. He doesn't want to shed his leaves, or needles, and he doesn't think he should have to. That puts him in hot water with Winter Incorporated, and he's thrown in an ice prison. The girl and her friends have to free the pine tree, her friends being an acorn and a pine cone. This one is also kind of lousy, if I'm honest, and it kind of doesn't make much sense when it takes place in the long ago, yet this character is shown flying in a toy airplane. A toy airplane provided by Santa, who wasn't around that far back. See, this is supposed to be before pine trees didn't lose their leaves in the wintertime, right? So none of that makes any sense. But there are some name brands in the cast. Rocker Debbie Harry plays the little girl, and John Ritter plays Tannenbaum, the pine cone. His son Jason plays the acorn. Santa was played by Walter Massey. He was Principal Haney on the Arthur cartoon series. The tree was played by Arthur Holden. He's done a ton of voice work over his long career. We actually saw his first credited project in a Christmas oddity I covered a Christmas or two ago called The Christmas Martian. He was the narrator in that one. A Christmas tree with a big face on it seems pretty weird. Bad enough seeing it in a cartoon, but imagine seeing that in real life. Well, check out this animated toy from 1996, Douglas Fir. He sings and his eyes light up and everything. My God, that's some nightmare fuel right there, isn't it? Oh boy. Wow. Well, speaking of nightmares, there's no use putting it off any longer. We have a real case of gastroenteritis here. The Magic Christmas Tree from 1964. God, it's awful. Here, this dumb kid and his friends, who chicken out, decide to go in this old witch's yard. She corrals this kid and is all creepy. Then she convinces the dopey kid to climb a tree to get her cat, which she named Lucifer. No red flags there. Naturally, he falls and conks his head. When he wakes up, everything is different. And you know what that means. Is he in the land of Oz? No such luck. Does he have a subdermal hematoma? Well, let's hope. Anyway, the witch gives him a magic ring, and he gets hold of a magic pine tree, and that becomes the Christmas tree. It can talk. He sounds as bored as watching this movie made me feel. The kid uses his magic powers for stupid things until he runs out of wishes or whatever. He even captures Santa Claus. You know how Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is bad, but it's so bad that it's good? Well, this movie is so bad that it's still really bad. This one is about an hour. Really, it should have only been about 30 minutes, and even that's about 45 minutes too long. There's nothing likable in it. Nothing. It was made by people who were not filmmakers. Kind of a Chamber of Commerce type thing, I think, but it makes Sominex look like Speed by comparison, let me tell you. Well, then there's The Christmas Tree, another cartoon, this one from 1991. And this is no better. This one is a cartoon made by a guy who worked for Disney making backgrounds for animated features. It's his only directing credit, and you can see why. The animation is a bit like the old Scooby-Doo cartoons when they were in a hurry, ran out of time, and had to rush the work. Well, in this one, there's a home for orphans, right? And the town runs this, with this woman in charge who actually hates kids. And these kids are really dumb. So it made me wonder if this is an orphanage or just where the people in this town send their kids to kind of get rid of them. Anyway, the old lady in charge here is a villainess, Miss Mavilda. She takes the money she's supposed to use to feed the kids and get them clothes and toys and stuff, and instead gambles it away with her friends. I did love how the mayor brings her literal bags of money, though. So, there's no oversight at all. Anyway, one day, a new couple arrives in town, and the wife takes her 2 kids to the orphanage. She works there, while the hubby is working for the town. Well, all the kids are so unhappy that they want to stop Miss Mavilda from conspiring against this mom who they do like. So they set out to find Santa. That's right. They go to the North Pole. Yeah, I don't know. So where's the Christmas tree in this thing? Well, that's where we get back to the kids being dumb. There's a pine tree out in the yard they personify as a friend. Somehow. I mean, trees are friendly, sure, but it's not as if they're riveting conversationalists. Anyway, Miss Mavilda decides to get back at the kids by chopping the tree down. Can she be stopped in time? Ugh. The cast here were not professionals. They were friends and family of the guy who made this, and it shows. Worst is the heroine, the mom lady. Her line delivery is stiffer than neutronium. The villainess, Miss Mavilda, she comes off like someone doing a bad Miss Gulch impression. And if this dog, Licorice, looks familiar, well, the guy worked for Disney, so this is apparently just a repaint of Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. That's what it looks like anyway. The animation is cheap and clunky, but probably the worst thing are the characters' eyes, which have black irises with gray pupils inside. Man, that's a creepy look. In a still, it doesn't look so bad, but when it moves, man, Creepsville. It's the Mark Zuckerberg dead eyes look. Ugh. This one is slow and boring. And wow, is it ever lousy. Well, how about something better? There's this one. The Christmas Tree from 1996. This is a British production, and unlike the Magic Christmas Tree, it's actually competently made. In this one, a little boy is going home for the holidays. He was in hospital, and while in the ward, it turns out he's a big liar. He's always telling tall tales, and the other kids are kind of sick of it. So one challenges him to bring them a Christmas tree by a given deadline. Little loudmouth here agrees to it. He doesn't have any choice because he's been bragging all day. And so now, to save face, he has to find a tree and trudge it 30 miles back to London and this kid's ward in time for Christmas. He enlists the aid of his sister and his little brother, who tags along, as little brothers are wont to do. They can't ship the tree because it costs too much. They try to take a bus, but get kicked off because the tree is such a hassle for the passengers and everybody. Then they resort to hitchhiking and walking and riding in the back of a lorry and all of that. This one is such a product of its time. These little kids are never in any actual danger, despite walking along highways and byways all alone, climbing stuff they could easily fall from, and hitchhiking. They fall in with some payroll robbers who have a gun in Britain. They even wind up crossing a military reservation during live fire exercises. Oh, man. Well, this one was kind of fun. Being an Angliophile, part of the fun is spotting name brands or familiar faces from British television. Sadly, not all of the people the kids meet are properly credited at the end, but one guy does stand out. This policeman here. That's a beardless Brian Blessed, who shot to fame after his turn as Dr. Roland and again as Maya's dad mentor on Space 1999. And of course, Flash Gordon, Blackadder, and tons of other things. His partner here, Jeffrey Whitehead, played in a lot of things. He also played Sherlock Holmes in a TV series in 1980 that was very well regarded. The mom was played by Doreen Keogh, who was a regular on the long-running soap opera Coronation Street. And there are many other one-offs in the cast. This one is okay, but it's very dated, given how these kids are more free-range than would be allowed today. Or should have been at the time. It's enjoyable enough, though. It doesn't drag, and the kids go from getting from one scrape into another in their quixotic quest to deliver this tree. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, so here's one more. In Oh Christmas Tree, there's not a lot of variety in these titles, is there? We have these two goofy polar bears fighting over the last pine tree in the Great White North because they each won a Christmas tree. This is a running series of one-upmanship as the bears try to get hold of the tree and outdo each other with tricks. One of the bears is dopey, and the other is throwing fits all the time, and I loved it. The character design for these bears are a real hoot. This is great classic cartoon animation. You'd swear this was from the 1960s, like early Hanna-Barbera stuff, Huckleberry Hound or Quick Draw McGraw type of animation, but it was from 1994. It's really worth tracking down. Man, this one's a winner, so I don't mind leaving you with this one. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time as the Barkey Dog Christmas continues.